Hi everybody, welcome back. Glad you could tune in again. I want to give you a little encouragement today. It's mid to late January. What that means is that many of you will have started personal Bible reading plans a few weeks ago, perhaps because of a New Year's resolution or just because you decided let's do one of those Bible in a year programs. And what started to happen is after a week or two of enthusiasm and keeping on top of things, you slip behind a day or two, and now in order to get back with the program, so to speak, you feel you have an enormous mountain to climb. And there are days, truth be told, when you start to think, oh, I don't really understand so much of this stuff anyway. Really, maybe I should just go back to reading a couple of verses of something familiar in the morning, and we'll leave Leviticus and Lamentations to somebody else. Let me encourage you to get back to the plan, or get back to some kind of a plan that gets you going through the whole Bible at a steady rate regularly. I'm not necessarily commending a Bible in a year plan. If that's going to work for you, that's great. But I would recommend something that will get you through it at a steady pace and keep you going through it so that you're covering the whole of Scripture, even the bits that you find difficult to understand. And there's a very good reason for this. We should not be reading the Bible in the first instance so as to be able to understand every word of it. Of course, there will be parts that we understand well. There'll be flashes of insight. We'll be thinking, this makes a lot of sense to me. You'll see things, perhaps especially if you're studying the Bible with others or reading a book to help you, a study guide or something. You will see things in the Scriptures, and that's wonderful. But even if what you're actually doing is you're reading it and not really following the narrative, if there's a historical narrative section, or you're lost in the middle of Jeremiah somewhere and you think, I'm kind of losing track of what this prophet is saying. We're not reading principally at those points so that we understand it fully. Show me somebody who understands it fully anyway. What we really should be trying to do is to read it so that we become familiar with it. And what we'll find is that if we do this, we're making a long-term investment in a kind of cumulative increase in understanding over time. You might not notice the difference from week to week or month to month or even year to year, but over a decade or two, that long-term exposure to soaking in the Scriptures will start to shape you. You'll start to recognize things that you've seen elsewhere. You'll start to understand some of those passages of Scripture that you didn't understand 5 years ago, perhaps through chance, providential conversations with people, or they'll pop up in other contexts. And over time, you will start to come to grips with those parts of the Bible that you find puzzling. It will take a long time, very probably, but all the best things in life mostly tend to do that anyway. So let me encourage you, get back to whatever Bible reading program you were on. If you're not on something, get started. If you don't know where to start with a couple of chapters of Matthew and Genesis every day or so and see how you get on. The Lord bless you, and bye for now.